fact, this is the very, very first issue of the National Geographic magazine. No color, no pictures, as simple as this, Yeah. So the stories of National Geographic Society began more than 130 years ago, and that was in the year 1888, as mentioned. So a group of gentlemen founded this National Geographic Society. And in the same year, September of 1888, they decided they wanted to publish a magazine. And therefore, they named it under National Geographic Magazine. So with that, they came out with a mission statement back then, a society for the increase and diffusion of geographical knowledge. And that was back in the 1888, remember that. But however, not for too long, the National Geographic Society ran into financial problems, and the founder found that we desperately will need a change. So in the early 20th century, the National Geographic Society, they hired an editor who actually much more able to communicate via the common language for the mass public. And in the 1990s, you can already see that the yellow frame of today's famous National Geographic trademark can be seen back in the 1990s already. Okay, so many years later, they began to show colored photographies on the cover and make this magazine much more look like a general public facing reading material. As the years goes by, I'm sure that many of you seen this before. This is probably the most famous photography on the National Geographic magazine. And this was the time that National Geographic starting to tackle more and more on the social issues related matters. And of course, as the recent decades, National Geographic Society, or rather National Geographic magazine, also tackling more on other topics like the politicals, global issues, public health. And example for this, if I remember correctly, this published in the October of 2020. This is talking about the pandemic, or rather the COVID-19, all of us wish it will go away real soon. Yeah, so over these decades, the National Geographic came out of a catchy phrase that described that what they do, or rather what they are doing now, as the world and all that's in it. And in fact, after many years of exploring by the National Geographic, they are not only exploring on the current world. National Geographic also touches on the prehistoric and also beyond the Earth. Yeah. So as such, they also came up with a new mission statement. We believe in the power of science, exploration, education, and storytelling to change the world. So I will just start with the word science from here. So this is a September 2020 issue. The title is Meet the Robots. And in fact, many a time that when we talk about National Geographic, people will just think that, there are many animals photographies, articles about the animals on the earth, nice nature landscape photographies, and so on. But in fact, if you do remember just now I mentioned back in the 1888, the National Geographic Society founded with the Science Matter magazines in their mind. And this particular picture is talking about making use the robots, the robotic automation, accompanied with the artificial intelligence to do the Pandora box packing. Yeah, this will evolve in the IR, we call it the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Yeah, when I was presenting this to other clients, they say that, hey, is that going to mean that my job going to be jeopardized by all the robots? And this is another issue, talking about the DNA revolution. This is the illustration of a mosquito that already sucked a lot of the human blood. So the scientists, they are trying to extract from the mosquito and try to using the reverse engineer to see that if any medical breakthrough from here. But of course, this probably will involve if whether it's morally correct to do so. However, this will be separate topic from here. And of course, just now we mentioned the outer space. They also exploring to the outer space, and probably by now the new space age, or rather the outer space, probably the hottest topic for now. Not only from the China already landed on the moon, the Russia probably wanted to start their space age racing again. All of us know about NASA, and all of us by now will know that Tesla, they're also trying to open up a colony in the Mars 50 or 60 years later from now. So the next one, we go to the exploration. Highly likely this will be the most famous part of National Geographic in the public audience mind. And in fact, if you do not know, National Geographic Society actually funded a lot of explorers for their missions. And eventually from there on, they were published with articles accompanied with a lot of fabulous illustration. And from there, for our reading and enhancing our knowledge on this part. So this is one of the most famous exploration. And this is Titanic, discovered by this gentleman, Robert Ballard, in the 1985. Titanic sunk in the 1912. More than 1,500 victims in this tragedy. Yeah, but very ironically that back then the Titanic was termed as unsinkable Titanic, but it was actually sunk during the maiden voyage by hitting the iceberg. And in the 1997, that was my era, the Titanic movie debuted to the public. And it was the highest, all-time highest box office movie. And also the very first movie that reached $1 billion mark box office record. And it was the record was broken by another movie, The Avatar, in 2010. And the person on the director that directed these films is Sir James Cameron. And for your knowledge, he is also an explorer himself in the National Geographic Society. So he went into the deepest point in the ocean on the Earth, the Mariana Trench. So another lady, Jane Goodall, so very courageous explorer. She went into the jungle and became friends with chimpanzees. And her exploration brought back many precious knowledge with all these amazing animals to the humankind. Next, education and storytelling. So from looking at this image, it looks like an iceberg to all of us. But if you take a deeper look at it, it is actually a plastic bag floating on water. This plastic waste is not only not easy to be dissolved, but also bringing disastrous effects to the nature world. In fact, there is a new term nowadays that we call it the microplastic, which means to say that this microplastic is actually existed in many a time that being endowed by the sea creatures. And ultimately, human probably like fish all these sea creatures, and in turn, it in fact gone into our stomach. So in National Geographic magazine, you can find a lot of infographic like this as well. It will explain to you how long, example, in this case, that for a plastic waste on the Earth, how long that it will take to dissolve, and why is it so difficult to dissolve, and how it travels through the ocean from one continent to the another continent. Another issue on this part also that is talking about how human actually trying to challenge the science. In this topic is actually debating about the Apollo mission to the moon. Was it a real fact, or was it like this is just nothing but a show that filmed in a secret location somewhere on the Earth? And now the last part, to change the world. So National Geographic, from time to time, they also will publish spatial issues. Example for this, that they did spatial issues that emphasizing on the women contribution in science, which is back in the past, it was always a forgotten element. And if you look at the subtitle in this issue, the subtitle is Women, a Century of Change. This is a very fantastic issue that campaigning the changes over the years and of the importance of gender equality. And this is another issue. The subtitle is Black and White. For the past 100 over years, National Geographic also guilty on what they did in the past. So they published this to make sure that they acknowledge their mistake and also to move on from there. Back in some of the early 20th century issues, there were quite some articles that, or rather photographs that racism, and with the example like this on the screen, There were photographs on the African being exhibited like an animal, and probably also that describe them with inappropriate terms. Yeah, this is very courageous for the National Geographic to acknowledge their mistake and move on from here. Okay, that's basically the background of the National Geographic Society. So I hope that you have now a basic understanding about the background story already, and I will move on to the databases. So there are three components in this database. The first one, National Geographic Magazine Archive from the 1888 to the current. The second one, National Geographic People, Animals and the World, and National Geographic Kids Edition. So the first one, you will get to read every single issue published since October 1888 until the current issue, with an exception that there is a small embargo of 45 days. That would mean to say that the e-version from here will have a 45 days of delay versus the printed materials that you are reading from the library shelf or from the bookshelf if you're buying from the bookshelf. And every single month, we will also add in new issues. Second module, the National Geographic People, Animals, and the World. In this module, we add in a lot of multimedia for the audience. So there are videos in here, maps, images, photographies, and also that we also have this National Geographic Traveler and National Geographic History magazine in this module as well. So there are more than 300 books published by the National Geographic Society, which cover various types of subjects or topics in this module as well. So of course, when there is a new publication, we will also try to add into here as well. So just now I mentioned that there are also a National Geographic Traveler and History magazine featured in this module. And just for additional information, the National Geographic Traveler magazine published since 2010 and already ceased publication in 2019. So we stopped at the last issue and we replace it with the National Geographic History magazine from 2019 until the current issue. So the similar thing, when there's a new issue, we will continue to add in here. So there are a lot of maps in this module as well. As you know that there are many fabulous maps featuring in the National Geographic magazine. So there are more than 300 maps available in here. There are videos as well, but this will be a little bit different from what you've seen from the National Geographic TV. These are all the short videos available from here. And this is a durian, yeah. And of course, there are thousands of images from here, right? However, do note that all these are copyrighted materials. If you try to use this for commercial purpose, please consult, right? Do not use it for commercial purpose. Okay, the very last module, National Geographic Kids Edition. So we also have a Kids Edition available here. And for National Geographic Kids Edition, there is a longer embargo period, which is 90 days, meaning to say that after the printed materials made available, 90 days later, you will see the latest issue being updated here. And the National Geographic Kids magazine featuring here, starting from the 2009 until now. In here, there are also more than 200 videos available here, more than 600 books from the National Geographic Society here, and near to 1,000 images from here. All right, so as mentioned by the friendly librarian just now, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, or rather the Sarawak State Library, already subscribed to all of the above mentioned by me for the past 20 minutes. So you can access it from the URL feature here, www.pustaka-sarawak.com. And when you're landing on this page, click on the services, look for the online services, and then click on electronic database. You will come to this screen and click. If you look at the service, just press on the click here, and it will bring you to this page. And it's arranged by alphabetically. So you have to scroll down a little bit to end, and you will find the National Geographic Virtual Library from here. So when you click on that, it will ask you to log in with your Sarawak ID. If you already have one, just log in. If you don't have, register one for yourself. And if further you're encountering any issue with the registration or login, just consult with your friendly librarian in the library will do. All right. Okay, so far, do we have any question? If not, I will just go to my product demonstration. By the way, these are some photos that taken by myself when I was in Kuching. So I think that it was the Fairy Cave, the Bako National Park, and the Sea Stack. Am I right to say that? Yep. Okay. Do you have any questions so far, Charlene?
No, I'm good.
All right. So I will just stop sharing from here and I will go into my live demo. Okay, Charlene, can you please confirm that you are looking at my screen now with a National Geographic platform already?
Yes, I am looking at it.
Okay,
as we speak. Yep.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just want to be sure, you know. Yep. So this is the default platform for National Geographic. The design philosophy of this platform also that one glance you can tell that this is National Geographic already. In fact, to be very honest, a lot of time when I'm presenting this product, I was like a bit awkward in a way that because probably many of you know what is National Geographic more than myself. It's so famous that when you see the yellow border frame, you know that this is National Geographic by itself. All right, so I will start from the top to the bottom. Okay, so this is my folder, something for your bookmark. If you starting to do any search, and further on, you will see the search history from here, because sometimes you might say that, hey, I want to, I forgot to take down the bookmark or whatsoever. I want to look back whatever that I searched earlier. So click on here. If you're not comfortable with English as the platform language, feel free to change that to any language that you like. Bahasa Malaysia, Indonesia, Chinese, Tagalog, whatsoever. If you may, Bahasa Malaysia. All right, so we can change the interface language. And now let me, please pardon me, I'm going to change back to English. I do understand Bahasa Malaysia too, by the way, all right? So if you would like, just click on the end session if you're done with everything. So sometimes that when you are trying to browse here, you might run into like, oh, I need certain help from here. Just click here, okay? We built in all this for you already. How to do a search. If you want to know more about National Geographic Virtual Library, advanced searches, basic searches, citation and what's not, which I will, anyway, I will show it to you later. This for your self-help screen. All right, I'll go back to the home screen. Okay, I can now conduct a search here if I want. Okay, I can just do a basic search here and click on the search function. And if you're some advanced user, or rather that you say that, oh, I really want to zoom in to specific search only, I want specific result only, by all means, you can do the advanced search. Okay, so you can do all the Boolean search. Okay, you may put in here, Sarawak and or not Malaysia example. All right, so you based on the criteria you put in, you will further zoom in to the desired result by yourself. So here as well, these are all the checkboxes. You can filter and filter, okay? So let me go back to the home screen. And should you like to just browse to particular issue in this platform, just click the Browse Magazines. We will show you the latest issue on top from here. Okay, so there are more than 1,500 issues on National Geographic magazine features in this platform already. So we also have 72 issues on National Geographic Traveler magazine here, which are received publication and replaced by the National Geographic History. So you will see 13 here. As the months go by, you're starting to see more and more. Same for all the numbers here. So every month, the database itself is actually growing by the size. So if you would like to filter by the date itself, you just want to see particular date, example that I can just go to the very first issue, which I showed you just now. This is the very first issue of the National Geographic. Okay. So now, let's do a very quick example with perhaps, let me say, just one of the magazine here. Okay, let's read the latest from here. February 2021 for this issue. It's a cover-to-cover coverage for all issues. That will mean to say that from the front cover to the very end, that will also mean to say that every single articles that are available here, and including advertisement if you may. Yeah. All right. So from here, if you would like to go straight into any articles in this particular issue, just click on here. There will be a table of contents for you to jump straight into the article itself. Okay. And if you would like to just read page by page, just click here. Or if you would like, you can just go to the particular page number from here. Okay, so let me just go to one of them. Volcanic voltage. Okay. And if you would like to do a full screen viewing, just click here. Okay, you can adjust a little bit based on the browser size that you are using, and you can have the full size browsing experience here. And depends on your preference, you can adjust the contrast, you can adjust the brightness by yourself. Okay, so there is an invert button here as well. This is an invert reading. So depends on the article itself. I personally sometimes use this invert reading for the maps, because as you know that there are many legends in the map that sometimes I can't really read. So by using the invert reading, sometimes it helps me to read easily and clearer. Okay, I'll go back to the platform now. Okay, if you want to zoom in or zoom out, by all means do that. Okay, so there are a couple of functions here. If you find that this volcanic voltage, something that you want to read, you can actually bookmark it. Just copy and paste this and paste it into another document, or rather you can just share this URL to someone that you want to share with. Perhaps, like example, the teacher can actually copy this URL and share to the students group that, kids, let's read this and come back tomorrow that we will discuss on this. Or maybe a parent, a mother went into the PNS and find that this is very interesting. So she saved this URL. And then after that, when she's back home, she can actually get the kids to read this article based on this bookmark. So you jump straight into this article again. Okay. So we also built in a citation tools here. So for some of you, you might be using this for your research, for your essay writing, and you took reference from here. Please remember you need to do a citation. You need to cite this original document. So we also built in a MLA, APA, Chicago, and Harvard format for you already. Okay, so the same thing, just copy and paste. You are done with your citations. All right. So you can also share this article with someone. Just put in the sender email and your subject, and to who else. Maybe you just say, okay, this is very nice reading. Please read. If you would like to print it, you may do so. But again, this is for personal reading. So under the fair usage scheme, you are able to print it. But then please, again, do not use it for commercial purpose. All right. Okay. So you may print it if you write. Okay. So just now I was looking at this particular issue, and I was using the table of content. If you want to find some keywords just from this particular issue, there is a search within issue, a search box from here. So you can try to do a zoom in search from here, and whatever you search from here will be based on this particular issue only, if you would like to do so. Yeah, otherwise just go on to the table of content and read whichever that you like. Okay, let me go back to the home again. And sometimes that you find that there are so many issues here that I really do not know which one that I'm interested, but rather I would like to explore based on the topics itself. Yes, please do so. Click on the explore topic. There are 6 topics here: animals, environment, history, people and cultures, science and tech, and travel. All right. So, okay, let's click on to the history example. And all the articles here are already filtered for you based on history. Okay, so we also further segregate for you. These are the featured images, featured articles, articles from the books, and videos as well. Okay. And we know that National Geographic, there are so many nice photographies in here. If you like to do an image search, by all means, just click here. And based on the type that you want, okay, you may check out if you want and do a search term here. All right, maybe let's do Asia example. Okay. All right. So that's basically from here. And if I scroll down a little bit, you can see the scrolling banners that these are the suggestive reading, which will change from time to time. So if you suddenly find that something, oh, rice terrace, I want to read that, just click on start exploring and you're reading everything on the rice terraces. And the spotlights again will be changing from time to time as well. Okay, so these are the suggestive reading for you. And this basically that I already covered the National Geographic magazine and also the people, animals, and the world. So now, how about the kids? There is a for kids tab here. Click on that. And we are bringing you to another platform. Much more graphical, much more colorful, much more appealing to the younger readers, right? Right. So the same thing, you can just do a search here if you like. Okay. So further scroll down, you will see that videos are here. These are the featured videos. If you want to see all of them, there are a couple of hundred of them. Just click on the more button, pictures from the books, from the magazines. Okay. So example that maybe this is interesting, glowing animals. I can click on that. And again, I'm starting to read the entire issue of this. Okay. So let me go to one of the articles. How do animals grow? Okay. Just now, sorry, I forgot to show you this very good function. Yeah, this is the text-to-speech function. In Gale, we call it read speaker. So every single article from this platform, the National Geographic Virtual Library platform can be read out. So just click on the play button. Your buffer a little bit depends.
Chapter 1. How do animals glow? It's nighttime and everything outside is dark. Then there is a flash of light. You see a fire.
I'm not too sure whether you guys can hear that. Charlene, can you confirm with me that the audio is playing just now?
Yeah, very clearly.
Nice.
Good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is a text to speech for you, So sometimes I also that when I'm doing a training or maybe a demo to the school, I will always talk to the teacher that, hey, let's do a listening test. Just play the audio and get all the kids to just listen before they are reading and ask them to write a summary from here. And from there on, we can gauge their listening skill. You see, so this is one of the things that you can do. All right. So again, any single article from here can be read out. Okay, just a little bit careful that because sometimes, as you know, that magazines, the layout, not like any other fiction book whatsoever. Sometimes there can be a funny layout, funny design here and there. So the reading can be a little bit, not in sequence, but the general idea is there. You see? Okay. So everything is the same. Browse magazine, you can just go to any single issue, explore the topics. Yeah. This is a very, very good platform for teachers and parents. Yeah. To get your kids to read on all these authoritative, reliable, good reading from the National Geographic. Yeah. No one will doubt about National Geographic in this case. All right. So after, if you already say that, okay, I'm done with the National Geographic Kids now, I want to get something for myself. And you can just click on the Exit NetGeo Kids. And you're back to this again. All right. So just now I didn't show you the search box function. So example that I can do a Sarawak search. And by using this search box, it will search through the entire database from 1,000 over issues on Sarawak. Okay. So we got 1 feature image, 15 feature articles, 2 from the books, 3 from brief articles. Wow. Sarawak being mentioned in the magazine cover. Okay, let's click on that and see what is that. Wow. Wow. In the 1999 issue, Sarawak being mentioned on the National Geographic cover. Let's see what is that. Oh, here. After the North Sea Mine Barrage, Sarawak, the land of the White Rajas. I'm not too sure what is that. I'm very sorry. I'm a Johorian myself. What is White Rajas? Perhaps you guys can brief me after this. Yeah. So you will see that the search term being highlighted for you already. Okay. So let me go back to the search result. So of course, if you want to read on any articles, feel free to do so. Okay, just like this. All right. If you want to filter by the year, by all means do so. And if you want to filter by the subject, Sarawak on Borneo alone, there are 9 of them. Sarawak, Malaysia, Indonesia, because it's a neighboring state as well to Kalimantan, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So you may do all these limiter if you want. Okay. And boom, that's basically all about the National Geographic Virtual Library. I believe that this is really, really intuitive and very easy to browse, very easy to search, right? So do we have any question now? Yep. Do we have any question from here, Charlene?
No, it's
Okay,
good.
I can see.
Yeah, it's just that we do have a question from one of our participants asking that if there's like any charges. May I answer this one?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So as you know, all of this database that are provided by the library is actually free of charge. Just make sure that you log in into your account before you access these databases, or else you could not have the full access to the database. All right. So I guess you can go on now.
Yeah, I basically already covered almost everything that I need to cover. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. My apologies. There's one more function here that we call it a term frequency. All right. So this is something that for you to do a graphical search. Example that again, I can put in Sarawak. So I can graph it. And you will see the graph like this. And it will also show you over the years, how many documents that mentioning Sarawak over the years. Okay. So right from, wow, that's even earlier than the cover that being mentioned about Sarawak. So this is the 1899. All right. So if you're interested to say that, wow, in 1889, Sarawak being mentioned. All right, click on that. And you'll be brought to that particular results. Now you might say that, I don't see any Sarawak being mentioned here as a keyword. That because of our system put in such a way that they will bring you to the page of the article, the starting point of the article. So in this case, you can see that you're actually reading the 48, 49 page, and the key term of Sarawak being mentioned in the page 50. Okay, so I would expect that this particular article starting from here, railroads and canal, blah, 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 blah. And then if I go to the next page, now you will see Sarawak being mentioned here. And it's really highlighted. Okay, so of course, if you say that, no, I'm not interested in all this, I just want to see where is the keyword of Sarawak, just click on this. It will bring you to the page immediately. All right. Okay, let me go back to the term frequency again. And sometimes maybe you will say that I want to know about Sarawak versus Sabah. Let's see about that neighboring state in the East Malaysia. Okay, you can plot a graph like this. Okay, so the blue line means for Sarawak and the black one indicates Sabah. Okay, you can also add a row if you want. Example, Kalimantan. Boom. And you are doing a comparison. Okay, so in the event that you want to print this graph out, by all means, just click on the print button and you can print this out. Or otherwise, if you want to download the graph, by all means, do so. You might need it for your example, your writing, your assignment. So you'll need all this to support yourself. So you can download as a graph and copy and paste this over. Okay. Right. I think more or less that we already covered everything. Yeah. Do we have any more questions? Wow, I think I go a bit earlier than expected.
No more question as of now.
Okay. So I will stop sharing. Shall we
There's
wait for?
actually, sorry, there is actually one question here asking if there is any app for to access this other than the website. Well, currently we do not have a specific app for that, but you can access this through your mobile and same step. You just go in and just Google up Pustaka, OPEC Pustaka, and then it will bring you there. Just make sure you log in, go to our online database, and then you can just click on National Geographic. Again, like I said earlier, be sure that you have logged in into your account to have the access. All
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
guess I answered that. Yeah.
Yeah. To add on a little bit, yeah. Yes, in fact, from Gale end, we also do not develop an app for it. Yeah, this is because of based on a lot of feedback from the worldwide customers that they don't actually need an app for that. But just for information that if you are using any mobile device, it can be your smartphone, it can be your iPad or any tablets, it will be mobile browser responsive, meaning to say that it will be the alignment, everything will be fitting nicely into your mobile device. All right. Okay, any more questions? I can see there's one here. All right. Okay, that's been answered. Okay, so if there's no question, okay. So again, thank you very much. And Charlene, do you have anything to say from here? And I'm Sean Chia again from Gale. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, it is actually an eye-opening session for me because I do not know that there's actually a publication of National Geographic that was printed even before I was born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was in 1888. Wow.
Yeah. And then what amazed me is that the function that is available on the for National Geographic virtual library when reading it. There's invert function that is you don't see that I think elsewhere. And then the citation tools, which I think is helpful for people who would like to cite the material, and then audio. I didn't know that until today. So I guess it is an eye-opening session for me, and I guess for all of us. And then, oh yeah, just to remind everyone, like you said earlier, that it is printable. However, not to use that as a commercial purpose. Yeah. All right. So since this is, like I said, it is the most anticipated webinar session. So I would like to sort of say this, that if there's any problem regarding registration with Sarawak ID whatsoever, our participant, our viewer can email us at librarian@sarawak.gov.my if there's any issue, or you guys can call us at 082-44-2000 if there's any issue regarding the access, registration, whatever. Just let us know. We will be waiting for your email.
Yeah, I think there is a question here. They're asking from the netgeo.geo.com. It turns out to be another website. I have to say that if you would like to access this, and because this is already subscribed by the Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, please go to the pustakasarawak.com website instead, and the direct link really there. Yeah, so you have to access from there. Yeah.
Right.
Right, just bookmark the pustaka-sarawak.com in your browser. You'll come back here very often. Yeah.
Yes. So I guess that is all from us this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Sean, for sharing with us this valuable information. And then I am sure that you have helped all our online audience, including myself. And then, well, it's a pleasant pleasure to have you on our webinar session. And then for those of you who are tuning in with us today, thank you. Your support towards today's session has made it a great session. And then because we also have this on YouTube, so for those of you who can't join us, you can share this with your friends, and then we are on YouTube as well. All right. And this is a recorded session. All right. So anything else from you, Sean?
No, that's all from me. Thank you very much from all of you. And thank you,
All right.
Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, for supporting. And to the audience, if you may, please do visit your state library more often, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. All right. So with that, I raise my case.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
Aina.
right. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I will stop sharing from here. Thank you.
Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita terokan. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita taruhkan. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.